right? About weak individuals or weak groups of individuals that try to block another person's greatness, right? Greatness is not it's not instilled in one's physical looks. It's instilled in the mind and the ability to be able to see reality on multiple levels at one time so that you can play the game of life. I like that game too when I was younger. I like the game of life. Meanwhile, back at the range, right? Meanwhile, back at the range. For one to want to stop an individual from doing anything that they want to do is a sign of weakness, if you ask me. I'm not going to block an individual from doing anything that they want to do. It should never be. It's a sign of weakness, a sign of fear, and a sign of insecurity. I don't own those. And nobody else should own those, no matter what their situation is or how you perceive the situation, right? Even on social media, it's the same thing. One will see your potential, or a group of individuals will see your potential, and they'll try to snatch it, smooth out your body, smooth out your mind, smooth out your reality, anything to block you. And usually they like to use your own personal principles against you. So for instance, you might say, I don't eat french fries on Friday. They gotta make sure it's french fries there on Friday. That's just how it is, right? I go through the same thing all the time. Like for instance, I said, all right, I'm gonna stop smoking, but I have my own system, my own method. But it's gonna always be somebody around that's gonna try to pop it up, and I'm aware of that, right? To be aware of your weakness and feed into your weakness, that's you just fighting with your weakness. To be not aware is to be taken advantage of. That's on any level. It could be anything. It could be a female. It could be a man. It could be anything. It leads back to this, right? One will say, I'm with you, and I want you to step your game to a next plateau, right? But the person has not accepted you as you are. So then what is that? Is that you have to go digging into the intention of why the person wants you to do said shenanigans. I'm going to use me as an example. Right? I had a brain surgery. So this side of my face is numb. If I meet you, then you have to love this side of my face that's numb. And if you want to change it, or you want me to change it, then you're going to have to give me a better excuse outside of, oh, I just don't like how it physically appears. Are you asking me to change it because it bothers me? Are you asking to change it because you want to see a different perception of me? Or are you asking me to change it because other people are bothered by it who don't even really know what's going on? So there's three ways to look at the situation. Mind you, is this a weakness? I don't consider it a weakness. I consider it a gift. You know why? Because in the process of this situation, in the brain surgery and the blah, 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 right? You lose certain senses and you double up on other senses. So, to me, it's a gift. It's acceptable in my reality. I don't care what nobody else think. And that goes on all kinds of levels. That goes to money. You got people that see $50,000 as $1 billion. People that see $1,000 as a lot of money. But is it? When I was growing up, they had this saying that people got killed for less. And it's because they was less in their thinking. That's all I'm going to say about that. It's levels to reality. It's levels to how you see things. Period. Now, in the spiritual world, where, you got tarot card readers, root workers, conjurers, people that do voodoo, hoodoo, Ifa, Santeria, right? All of the above. There's even systems that are in existence that we probably don't even know about, right? Even when you're dealing with the Kemetic systems, the Hermetic system, they all lead to the same thing. You have an overall understanding, right? With all systems, it all is still based on your intention. Period. You got people that use the system because they intend to heal. People that use systems that intend to elevate themselves. People who use the systems to violate other people. And so on and so forth. It's just the way it goes. It's just the way it is. I don't know who that is, but okay. Oh, FYI. One might practice a particular system, right? And have a group of people that dispute the particular system. Most people that are disputing a particular system, in most cases, not in all cases, but in most cases, are less knowledgeable in their own system. This is what I learned. This is what I'm figuring out. So, for instance, I like tarot cards. I like Ifa, right? People are going to dispute it. There's people out here that just dispute it. They don't believe in it. They don't like it. They feel like it's evil. It's idol worshiping. Da 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 da, right? They dispute it. But when you ask them why, they cannot answer the question because they have not studied all systems to determine or to give a proper reason for why they dispute it in the first place. So therefore, it leads to there's no argument. We shouldn't judge on what other people think and believe in, period. Because I don't do it at all. I don't care what system another person chooses to practice because I know that they all lead to the same thing at some point. If you're doing it to raise your awareness, period. Resistance is annoying and aggravating, but it's also fun for those who like to learn. The one that sees good in all things, including the bad, is going to elevate regardless. They might not elevate at the same time or when other people want them to elevate, but they're going to elevate regardless. The problem here is, what are you elevating? Period. Like, for instance, I experienced all kinds of chaos in my immediate world. It was my choice whether I wanted to actually participate in the chaos or ignore the chaos. Chaos is mandatory. Everybody's idea of ignoring chaos is not the same. Some people just say, all right, I don't care. It's just not there. Some people acknowledge it and just don't speak on it. That's how I am. I acknowledge it, I don't speak on it, and I just bust my moves. That's it. The other interesting thing is how, want to use family to try to destroy one, making it a very sticky situation. So, for instance, it's like, and I'm sure that there's celebrities that had this type of situation. Is family or is your dream? You have to not, love on your family to reach your dream, or you have to detach from your family to reach your dream. And this is true. You have to detach from people, places, and things to reach certain things. The problem is when it's artificial and when it's a third party or an entity, or let's say a corp, that's trying to control you in some type of way, right? They're going to make you cut loose things that you shouldn't and offer you things that's temporary. They can all be replaced at the expense of things that can't be replaced. And this is the games that I don't play. This is why when you go through these things, you have to understand how to address them. Do you take the hit and just build on your own? Or do you give in because you're scared to take the hit? It all depends on your circumstances, so I do not judge. I do not judge. Now, for instance, there's certain principles that I stand on, so it's supposed to be Freestyle Friday. I'm canceling Freestyle Friday. What I'm starting to realize is that this particular situation, that's a part of my personal principle, it keeps occurring because it's Freestyle Friday. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, why? Am I upset? No. Because eventually it has to stop and it still be Freestyle Friday regardless. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. Anyway, I'm off to the races. I'll see y'all on the next one. Before somebody try to make it seem like NBT's got rambling when I'm just kicking it. Because guess what? It's going to get seen regardless, right? Anyway, see you. Deuces.